Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. On behalf of our Iskcon of Greater Atlanta, New Srivasangam, we would like to welcome all of you for this satsang this evening. Thank you very much for being here. We are very, very fortunate today to have the blessed association of His Grace Shriman Gauranga Prabhu. He needs no introduction. We have shared his information on the WhatsApp groups yesterday. Shambhiri Prabhu also introduced, so I will not take much time. But I just want to say that my family, myself and my family, we are trying to be in Krishna consciousness because of His Grace Gauranga Prabhu. He is my first Shiksha Guru, and he influenced me so tremendously that the whole family has been influenced by Gauranga Prabhu. And for that, we are ever grateful. Thank you very much, Gauranga Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming this evening. I will speak on the three aspects of the mission given to us by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Name Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, and Jive Daya. Lord Chaitanya gave us the mission. Srila Prabhupada, through the institution of Iskcon, has given us the institutional framework to spread this mission. I need some time. No, in the sense. Otherwise, you will hold me responsible for delay. So, Name Ruchi. It is described about Lord Chaitanya. Anandalila Maya Vigrahaya. Lord Chaitanya is an embodiment of bliss. Hema Bhadivya Chavisundaraya, who has appeared in golden complexion. Tasmai Mahaprema Varapradaya, and he has come to give out of his boundless compassion the pure love to all the conditioned souls in the entire universe. Tasmai Mahaprema Varapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Ei rupe achandale kirtana sanchare Nama prema mala ganti podela samsare. So Lord Chaitanya garlands the entire universe with a garland which is comprised of the flowers of love of God. It is strung on the thread of holy name. Tavat ragadayastena tavat karagraham graham tavat mohongri nigado yavat krishna na te janaha. Brahmaji, after the Brahma Vimohan Lila, is offering prayers to Krishna and is saying that the greatest cause of illusion is to think that I am the proprietor, I am the controller, and I am the enjoyer. And he's saying that what I witness here in Brajabhumi, Vrindavan, amongst the Brajavasis, who seem to have a very intimate relationship with you, my dear Lord, is something very fascinating. There are no renunciants in Braj. Everybody has families, professions, household duties, children. So why is Brajbhumi still glorified as the highest? The stereotype understanding is someone in renounced order is supposed to be more advanced. But Vrindavan is full of families. And amongst them, the gopis are the most worshipped as the highest. So all the stereotype understanding of spiritual advancement has to be re-evaluated because of this classic example in Vrindavan. So he says, Tavat raga adayastena. If one has desires, obsessions, attachments, and if they are not centered around pleasing, serving, and helping Krishna selflessly, then those desires become thieves and steal away your consciousness, your peace, your joy, your satisfaction. We become disturbed when a thief steals our property. But the greatest property we have is our inner joy, inner stability, inner satisfaction, inner peace. And who's responsible for losing all of that? We ourselves have to take responsibility because we, instead of having a consciousness of service to Krishna, have a consciousness of being the controller, proprietor, and enjoyer. Lead a life centered around being ego maniacs. And therefore, Brahmaji is saying, my dear Lord, you made me the controller of the universe. That went to my head and I offended you. Raga deyastena. One may have desires, but if one does not control those desires become the very cause of stealing away our peace and our consciousness. Tavad taragraham graham. Then he says, second very important principle. I see that in Brajbhumi everybody has homes, but in those homes, their center is Krishna. If one does not make Krishna as the center of one's home, if one's consciousness within that home is not to serve and please Krishna, but rather one replaces Krishna with oneself and decides to do things based on what I like, then that home becomes not a home, not a griham, but it becomes a kara griham. Kara griham means jail. Kara griham is not a griham with a car. Kara griham is jail. Tavat kara griham griham. Tavat mohongri nigado. And he says, if one continues to have the illusion that I am the master, controller, enjoyer, that moha, that illusion binds one deeply. That illusion that the entire universe exists to support my plans, facilitate my plans. Moha. We look at the entire universe with that perspective of being the enjoyer and the controller. And therefore, Marich tells Ravana, Prasida Lankeshwara Rakshasendra Lankam Prayacha Bhavasadu Gacha Tvamasveshidareshu Ramasvanityam Ramah Sabharyam Ramatam Vaneshu. O 10-headed Ravana, you want me to go and kidnap, facilitate your kidnapping of Sita. You seem to have 10 heads but no brain. What you're suggesting is going to be the cause of your destruction. Proceed, be happy. Lankeshwara, O King of Lanka, Rakshasendra, O controller of all the Rakshasas. You have enough power, enough control, enough facilities for enjoyment. Lankam Prayacha, go home to Lanka. Bhavasadu Gacha, and go home with all your limbs intact. Because if you try to take up fight with Ram, you will be destroyed. Tvam sveshu dareshu ramasva nityam. Please go home and enjoy with your own wives. Rama sabharyam ramatam vaneshu. Let Ram be satisfied with his wife. Don't look at Lord Ram's wife as an object for your enjoyment. You will suffer. So this was repeated advice given to Ravana by multiple people, including Vibhishan, his own brother. But Ravana could not accept that because he was under that moha, illusion. I am the enjoyer. I am the controller. No one can do anything to me. So Ravana's own brother Vibhishan was a great devotee of Lord Ram. So Ravana hears rumors that Vibhishan is worshipping Ram too much. So Ravana enters into Vibhishan's home. And in all the walls of Vibhishan's home, there is this word written, Rama, 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 everywhere. Vibhishan is addicted to the holy names of Rama. So he has covered all the walls with Ram Nam. Ravana becomes very angry. How dare you take my enemy's name and advertise it on the walls? Vibhishan said, relax. Who are you referring to? He said, what is this? Ram, 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 that's my enemy. Vibhishan said, first clarify before shouting. Don't assume things. Arey, this is Rama, my enemy. Arey, no. This Rama is different. Ravana said, there is some other Rama or what? Said, Rama means, Ra means Ravana, Ma means Mandodari. Ravana, Mandodari. Ravana, Mandodari. This is your name. Ravana smiles, all the 10 heads. embraces Vibhishan and immediately gives an order. All the walls in Lanka should have Rama, Rama, Rama. So that is the power of Vibhishan's intelligence, that he engages someone like Ravana in glorification of Ram. So this is called the illusion that I am the enjoyer. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that in this age of Kali, the fastest way to overcome this illusion that I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I am the center of the whole universe, is to actually begin the day by offering a prayer that I want to be engaged in your service. You are the controller, you are the enjoyer, you are the center, my dear Lord Krishna. Engage me in your seva. That is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And therefore, that principle of chanting of the Mahamantra was inaugurated by Lord Chaitanya. Kanchana sadrisha deha aruna vasan pulaka ashru kampa sweda tahate bhushan. And Lord Chaitanya, with his beautiful golden complexion, was chanting the holy names. And his ornament was the different symptoms of ecstasy. Chaudike te sabaloka bole hari hari prema veshe madhye nritya kare gaur hari. And as Lord Chaitanya was chanting in the midst of all the devotees, surrounded by the devotees, and all of them looked at the ecstasy being demonstrated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the natural outpouring of love as he was chanting the holy names of Krishna. For a moment, everybody was struck with what? The beginning of faith is doubt. And therefore, when someone comes to the association and hears a lecture, our first goal is not to create faith. Our first goal is to sow the seed of doubt. Doubt in the current narrative that sense gratification gives pleasure. So the scriptures give enough examples and sufficient philosophy to make us question that for millions of lifetimes I've been leading a life with this paradigm, thinking sense gratification will bring pleasure, but looks like it is not going to give pleasure, it is going to give pain. So that's the beginning of creation of doubt when someone sees somebody practicing the process of Krishna consciousness, giving up all material necessities, living a simple life, owning and possessing lesser and lesser, but still experiencing a joy greater and greater. So that is confusing. That is called doubt. So therefore, we make sure that before we leave, within an hour, we create sufficient doubt in people's mind. I was sharing the other day, I was giving prasad to one college student and he was refusing. I will not take. I said, why you will not take? He said, I'm afraid my hairstyle will become like yours. Said, you guys mix something in that. You mix something. What do we mix? It is Krishna's grace, which is there within. Then I had one of my monks joined the ashram many years ago. His father came and started arguing with me. Why my son has joined at such a young age? When he's my age, he should join. I said, let the son go, you join. He got even more bewildered. He looked at me and said, let me ask at home and come back. Next day he came and said, let my son continue. And then he folded his hands and said, leave me alone. So therefore, the narrative which is most prominent is the more you enjoy senses, the more money you make, the more sex enjoyment you get, the more control, the more power, the more ego you get satisfied, the more happy you will be. But we see exactly the opposite experience. यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एवते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधाः. The material world, which gives so-called sense pleasure, has a beginning and an end. What appears as nectar in the beginning becomes poison in the end. And therefore, the whole process of spirituality is to help each person realize I am not the controller, I am not the enjoyer. The more I acknowledge that there is a supreme powerful personality who is the real controller, proprietor, enjoyer, and I am simply a facilitator, a trustee, and trying to be a servant, then we experience another level of joy and peace. That is the spiritual joy which all of us are aspiring for. Aho bhagyam Nanda Gopa Vrajaukasam Yanamitram Paramanandam Purna Brahma Sanatanam. Lord Brahma is saying, how fortunate are the Brajavasis. They are constantly serving the Supreme Lord in great joy and intimacy. Tadastu me natha sabhuri bhaga bhavetravanyatra tuvatirascham yenahamekopi bhavat jananam bhutva nisheve tava pada pallavam. Brahmaji is saying, my dear Lord, you have made me the controller of the universe and I've experienced that control. But I see that the joy and the pleasure which these Brajavasi cowherd boyfriends of yours are having in an intimate relationship with you, without the feeling of Aishwarya, controllership, or opulence, but with simple intimacy, love, devotion. I am hankering for that. I want to give up this position of Brahma. I want to give up my power. And I want that intimacy which you are experiencing with these cowherd boys. Tadastu me natha sabhuri bhaga. It will be my greatest bhagya, fortune. Bhavetravanyatra tuvatirascham. That in some future life, please bestow your blessings upon me, that I can be born amongst these Brajavasis. I can be born amongst your devotees. Yenahamekopi bhavat jananam bhutva nisheve tava pada pallavam. And once I get that association and serve those devotees, I will ultimately get the opportunity to serve your lotus feet. And therefore, that is the aspiration which all of us are hankering for. Begin the day with this prayer. Please engage me in your service. That is what the Mahamantra is all about. And so, in her beautiful prayers, Pingala says, Santam samipe ramanam rati pradam nitya pradam nityamivam vihaya akamadam dukkha bhayadishoka moha pradam tuchhamaham bhajegya. That, my dear Lord, you are seated right within the heart, but ignoring you, I am chasing behind sense gratification. Please give me the intelligence by which I can lean towards you and depend on you rather than chasing objects of this world, which is only leading me deeper and deeper into all kinds of confusion. So, therefore, all of us need to realize this, that we have limited time in our life. Durlabho manavo deho dehinam kshanabhangura tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priyadarshanam. Human life is rare. Long life in human form is rarer. Healthy life in that long life is rarest. But rarer than all of that is association of devotees in that human life. Tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priya darshanam. That vaikuntha priya. To have that association is the rarest. That day in Washington, D.C., somebody was asking me question on the power of association, and I was sharing my own experience when I was doing programs in the jails in India. This was a jail in Pune called Yerawada Jail. Very large jail where life convicts and those who are about to be hanged are kept. So, on a regular basis, I would go to the jails to give lectures. So there were almost 500 prisoners sitting in front of me. And I love jail programs because audience is guaranteed. No RSVP is required. So I gave the lecture and then I paused and I said, any questions? So one prisoner raised his hand and he said, I have a question. I said, ask. He said, I will come on the stage and ask the question. I got worried because this is a jail and this is a prisoner. So I asked the commissioner of police who was standing next to me, who is he who wants to come on the stage? The commissioner looked at that person in the crowd and then whispered in my ear, he has committed 12 murders. I said, am I going to be 13? He says, no, let him come. He came on the stage, asked this question. I gave the answer. Then I was curious. I asked him, how could you commit so many crimes at such a young age? And his first answer was bad association, negative association. None of us can control our circumstances, but the association will define our response to that circumstance. If you have negative association, the response will be negative. If you have positive association, you get trained with the sanskar to respond positively. So therefore, never think that satsang and coming and worshipping Krishna and starting to chant, following the process, chanting Hare Krishna, etc., will make problems disappear from your life. Please don't be in that illusion. Vrindavan was very peaceful before Krishna entered. After Krishna entered Gokul, then came Putana, Shakatasur, Bakasur, Aghasur, Dhenukasur, and a long list of demons. So therefore, the practice of the process is not meant to make you free from problems or make the problems disappear. No. So the only thing is how you can respond with integrity, with intensity, with inspiration, with intention, with impact. That response is what you learn in this association, because how to respond to situation is also a skill which needs to be learned. And therefore, this young guy, he had to spend his whole life for so many crimes. And he said, when I would get clouded with anger, discrimination finished. 2 seconds of anger and a lifetime of suffering. And so he said, last 1 year, I have been translating books into Braille language for the visually impaired. But last 2 months, the book I have been translating is very fantastic. And that book has transformed my consciousness. And I said, which book is that? And he said, that is Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. And he said, now after studying that book, I have developed a desire to have satsang in my life. So please organize some devotees to come and do satsang. Because what we missed earlier in our life is that good association which will help you train how to respond to situations. Within the next 1 week, we organized satsang on a weekly basis from Pune, Iskcon. And within 4 years, 200 prisoners were chanting 16 rounds. So you are all sitting very comfortably in Dallas, in Atlanta. Nice, facilities, nice education for kids and this and that. But you should see the various conditions in which people are living. And you'll realize that practically only 2 billion of the world's 8 billion population has disposable income.
Disposable income.
Disposable income. Disposable income. I feel embarrassed that one with no bank account has to explain what is disposable income. By with due respect and taking permission of all of you, I will share the definition. Because I never had any income. So disposable income means you have, after all the expenses, you have something to spend. Otherwise, roti, kapda, makan, everything gone in that. So that is technically called poverty stricken or below poverty line. So out of the 8 billion, or in India, they say 800 crore, Only 200 crore or 2 billion have disposable income. Because you may be moving continuously in that society, you may think the whole world is like that. So you have kids here in America, the Indian children going to this school, that school, you move to another school district because you want a school which is not number 4, number 3, you want number 1. And you feel anxiety whether my kid will get in number 1 or number 2. But most Indians sitting here don't know that 270 million kids are in the Indian school system from K to 12. Out of that, beyond 12th, only 12% of the children enter college. 88% of the children in the school system in India never see the face of a college. They drop out because of poverty, social reasons, other reasons. If 100 kids enter kindergarten in India, only 12 enter college out of that. 88 will drop out. So these are the realities. So you have to wake up to the reality and understand with gratitude that Krishna has given me enough. Let me not be constantly in the mood of complaining, lamenting, thinking why this, why this, why this, why that, comparing, complaining, criticizing, 3 cancers of the mind. Human being can never be satisfied. 2 friends are walking. One friend asked the other, "You are looking very morose. What happened?" And the friend said, "My great grandmother. 6 months ago, she departed and she left behind $1 million for me." So the other friend said, "Oh my God, I feel sad that you lost the great grandmother, but I think you got something." Then what? Then the guy with the morose face says, "3 months ago, one of my grand uncles departed. He left behind 2 million for me." I said, "Oh my God, that's 1 plus 2, 3 million." He was getting even more curious. Then what happened? And 1 month ago, one of my aunts departed. She left behind 3 million for me. Oh my God, 1 plus 2 plus 3. Then why you're looking so morose? He said, "This month, nobody has gone." That is our problem. How many of us get up with a feeling of gratitude for all that we have received? And therefore, stop beginning the day by checking your WhatsApp and your social media and all these other things. Begin the day by offering your prayer of gratitude. And that is what Lord Chaitanya is recommending as Name Ruchi. Please engage me in your service. Don't think he's like a storekeeper sitting to issue things to you. What next? You want this also, this also, this also. Many years ago in 90s in India, there was one day where suddenly rumor came, Lord Ganpati is drinking milk. How many of you were there? Yeah. So this is an Indian phenomena which happened on one day. And those days there was no WhatsApp, no mobile phone, nothing. But the news spread. I can't even imagine how it spread. But it spread. Everybody was making Lord Ganesh drink milk. So I was, newly joined in the Brahmacharya ashram. I think this was 96, 97 something. So some of the brahmacharis together came and said, hey, this is a world phenomena going on. So in our temple in Radha Gopinath, we have one Ganesh deity at the entrance on top. We thought, let us experiment whether our Ganesh ji is drinking or not. We said, everybody, we were all young brahmacharis, all enthusiastic. Okay, great. We put a ladder. So we had 2, 3 people holding the ladder. One guy went on top. Then I was holding the bucket of milk. I took the milk and gave it to him, and then he gave it to him, and then the guy on top, he was pouring. We were all asking, "Are drinking or not drinking?" Iskcon Ganesh drinking. He said, "I'm not able to figure out. But if he's drinking all over the world, he must be drinking here also." So that time, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was taking a tour. And he came right there and he saw this unique scene of everybody standing on the ladder. And he looked at me and he said, I have never seen you so enthusiastic to clean up anywhere that you have set up a ladder for cleaning. What is going on? I said, oh, Maharaj, you have not heard? Said, what? All over the world, there is those days the word trending was not there. But that's the news. So what news? Ganesh ji is drinking milk. So he said, so what's going on here? He said, we are making him drink milk and confirming that theory. Maharaj said 6 times a day, Radha Gopinath is taking bhoga or not? He said, of course he's taking. So then, why you have to experiment? I said, Maharaj, that is different. That is daily. This is once in a life. What kind of faith you have? You close the curtain, you chant the mantras, and then you say, this is prasad, which means what? They have eaten or not? Yes, Maharaj, that is true. Try to understand. This is not time for philosophy. This is time for some practical experience. This is a moment in history. We have to be part of it. Let's come to philosophy later. So he said, guys are such neophytes. You keep hearing, you keep teaching others, but when it comes to practice, you're physically feeding milk. If he actually starts drinking milk, every day you will start complaining why he's drinking. So therefore, when we come to the deities and temple, we should come with a grateful heart that we have been given enough. How can I serve you? How can I offer my gratitude to you? We say thank you to so many people who offer us small, small things in life. Small gestures, and we say thank you. So much of air we have consumed, so much of water we have consumed, so much of food we have consumed, and we cannot find time to say thank you. That is not polite gesture. And therefore, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is nothing but the Vedic way of saying thank you, that you have given us everything. Thank you for what you have given. Please engage me in your service. Keha nache keha gaye Sri Krishna Gopal Premite bhasil loka strivruddha abha. Everybody, Lord Chaitanya engaged in that chanting. Every member of society. No bar, caste no bar. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inundated everybody's consciousness with that feeling of let me be a servant. Let me just serve, let me just serve, let me just serve. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Let me constantly be in the mood of seva. And when Lord Nityananda looks at this phenomena, he is astonished and he's thinking, how did this happen? देखे नित्यानंद प्रभु को हे भक्त गणे এই রূপে নৃত্য আগে হবে গ্রামে গ্রামে. Lord Nityananda predicts what we see here in Alarnath, Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan, that's going to spread in every town and village. 500 years ago, Lord Nityananda predicted that one day this Hare Krishna will be chanted here in Greater Atlanta. So this is a phenomenon, a global phenomena. And therefore we should realize that that transformation in our consciousness is required. How do I acknowledge the Lord's presence in my life and express my gratitude? So therefore, this principle of Nama Ruchi is the beginning. When Thakur Haridas, he is sitting and chanting for 22 hours every single day. So one may think that if one simply chants, there is no problem. Sometimes devotees do a lot of seva, they take up administrative responsibilities. Then they start getting into conflicts, misunderstanding, fights, and then you start thinking, let me give up everything and just chant. Chant, chant, chant. There'll be no problem. Thakur Haridas was doing only that. Chant, chant, chant. He got into problem. Because somebody became envious of him just because of chanting only. Why he is becoming so influential through his chanting? So let us corrupt him. So this person who was envious of him sent a prostitute to kind of distract him. And when she came, he said that হরিদাস কহে তোমার করিব অঙ্গীকার সংখ্যা পূর্বক নাম না হয়ে আমার. He said, you want to enjoy with me? Okay, I will fulfill your desire. But problem is, my sadhana is not yet completed. Let me finish my rounds, then we will enjoy. Okay, sit here. So that prostitute sat right next, near the Tulasi. Tulasi ratanke Vaishya namaskar kori Dware bosi naam shune bole Hari Hari. So she just sat there and was hearing Thakur Haridas chant the names. Thakur Haridas was not giving any philosophy to her. He was not trying to logically explain why you should chant or what I am doing and why what you're doing is correct or not correct. He was just absorbed in his own prayer. So therefore, intensity in one's prayer is very important. Intensity in sadhana. And when that Vaishya, that lady was hearing 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, that was impacting her. Why? Because that prayer was coming from the deepest core of Thakur Haridas's soul. And it was impacting her soul. And so finally, In 3 to 4 days, she had a heart transformation. Just by hearing that holy name, she realized, I am making a mistake. So she says, Vesha kahe kripa kara. Please tell me what I should do. Ki mora kartavya yate chai bhavaklesh. What is my duty? Please tell me. Kripa kara kara upadesh. Please give me your instructions. What should be my duty? So at this point, Thakur Haridas instructs her that you do not give up your home, but you transform your consciousness within your home. That is most important. And so she takes that very seriously, takes to the chanting of the holy names regularly. Tabe sei Veshya, Gurur Agya Loila, Gruha Vitta Jeba Chila, Brahmane Redila. So she purified her life and transformed her consciousness with chanting of the holy names. Tulasi Sevana Kore Charvan Upavas Indriya Damana Huila Premera Prakash. She was sitting every day next to Tulasi. She was fasting on auspicious occasions and she controlled her eating habits. And then when she did that, Indriya Damana Hoila, her senses came under her control. Premera Prakash. And love for Krishna manifested within her, who was engaged as a prostitute before. So, therefore, the holy name has the power to transform one completely. And so, when she was transformed, the greatest devotees in that area who very well knew what her previous profession and role in society was, they were coming and offering respects to her. Prasiddha Vaishnavi Hoila, Parama Mohanti, Bada Bada Vaishnav Tare, Darshane Te Janti. So big devotees were coming and offering respects because the process of chanting is so transformative. It cleanses one from so deep within that what one has been in the past is immaterial. All Krishna cares for is your current choice and your aspiration to be a transformed person in the future. And therefore, that is the most hope giving thing in this association. And that's the reason why you come to the association. You go to the supermarket and take home some vegetables and grocery. You go to the gas station and take home some fuel. You go to the bank and take home money. You come to the temple and the association and take home unlimited hope. That's the reason you have come here. To take hope with you, the hope in the future, the hope in your current ability to transform yourself, discipline yourself, change yourself, in spite of all the weaknesses you may have and you may think you have, because you and me may be weak, but Krishna is strong. And therefore, you are coming here to make Krishna the chariot driver of your life, like Arjuna, and allow him to lead you through the battle. And when you do that, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanetir Matir Mama, Vanchitoham Maharaja, Harina Bandhurupina, Yena me apahritam tejo, Deva Vismapanam Mahat. Arjuna is saying, I realize now after Krishna's disappearance, whatever power I had was coming from Krishna. I should not be proud of borrowed feathers. All the power, ability, intelligence, wealth, influence, health, everything is a gift. It has been given to me. I have to utilize it in his service. Vanchitoham, Arjuna is saying, Deva Vismapanam, biggest gods were getting stunned by my abilities. But now, those abilities are gone. Tadvai dhanus taishava saradho hajaste soham rathi nripatayo yata anamanti. Arjuna is saying, this is the same Gandiva, I am the same Arjuna, this is the same chariot. What happened? What has changed? Krishna is no longer there. And therefore, once Krishna is not there, all the power has been taken away. Sarvam kshanena tadabhut asad ishariktam bhasmam hutam kuhaka radham ivoktamushyam. In one moment, everything has become zero. And I feel totally helpless. But although I am so helpless, I refuse to become hopeless. Because although Krishna has physically gone, he has left behind his message, which I heard on the battlefield. That's the message of Bhagavad Gita. Desha kalartavattani hrit tapopashamani cha haranti prasabam chittam govinda abhitani me. Desha kala artha yuktani. That Gita is filled with the meanings to impact us at moments of hopelessness. It may have been spoken 5,000 years ago, but it is so relevant even today. That time has changed, place has changed, circumstance has changed, but the relevance is as powerful as 5,000 years ago. So the Gita will speak to your current issue, your current problem, your current emotional trauma and insecurity and anxiety, and fix your issue right within. Krit tapa upashamani cha haranti prasabam chittam Govinda abhitani me. Those words of Govinda, that is medicine for the soul. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada wrote the commentary to the Bhagavad Gita and called it Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Srila Prabhupada went to London and one reporter asked him, why you came to London? Prabhupada said, British took away for 300 years gold, ruby, emeralds from India. They forgot to take the most precious jewel, Bhagavad Gita. I have come to do home delivery. And in last 60 years, Iskcon has distributed 600 million Bhagavad Gitas in more than 80 languages. So I see the majority of people are from India. The biggest problem in India, nobody reads Bhagavad Gita. They keep their children name Arjun. One of the favorite names. But then what was the message Arjuna received? They'll get confused. I was distributing Bhagavad Gita in the local trains in Mumbai. One guy was arguing with me. Swamiji, Bhagavad Gita free, no? I said, free? Why free? 70 rupees. He said, Swamiji, Krishna spoke to Arjuna free. Krishna spoke free. You taking 70? Not good. Not good, not good. Krishna free? I said, Are Krishna spoke to Arjuna Kurukshetra. This is Bombay. 70 rupees is transport charge. So people do not invest time to make their own consciousness recipient of the message of the Gita, nor facilitate the younger generation to learn the Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, the Bhagavad Gita is a book which will help you navigate through everyday battles in the choices which you make in life. So therefore, Name Ruchi is the foundational principle which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Out of the three core missions, Name Ruchi, which is taste in the chanting, which basically means being prayerfully inclined. How can I engage in your service, my dear Lord? Be a servant. So therefore, sadhana means intention to serve. Seva means activity to serve. And the third principle of Jive Daya means giving access to other souls to serve. So the common word in all three is serve. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore has come to open up a totally new paradigm that don't seek pleasure in sense gratification, in sensuality. Seek pleasure in service. And the change in the narrative begins with seeking the prayer to serve, which is Name Ruchi. So I'm very grateful that all of you are visiting the Iskcon of Greater Atlanta on a regular basis for your satsang, for your transformation, for seeking deeper meaning and purpose in your life. And I'm happy that all of the wonderful resources available from our timeless teachers and tradition is made available to all of you to utilize for transforming your lives and your family's lives. Thanks to Adi Gadadhar Prabhu and his family and all the others who are supporting him here in this temple. And thanks to Sham Bihari Prabhu and his team. So many of the community members in this part of Atlanta who were not having the access to go all the way and go through the whole traffic to the other temple now also have facilities by which they can come on a regular basis and transform their lives. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. So, you want any questions? Maybe we'll have a couple of questions.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Yes, so I'll pass on the mic and you can speak, hold the mic close so everybody can hear. There are a lot of devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yesterday you were saying that when Mataji was asking, Krishna's Ras Leela is not a romantic dance, but it is like a dance we have to go in step with him. But then Krishna does come in everyone's life, but his steps are sometimes too big and bold. We will not be able to go in sync with them. Especially like when women, moms were to take care of the kids, work, home, everything.
Right.
It becomes very difficult sometimes. Okay, we start feeling our disabilities like, oh, I cannot step, maybe I cannot even walk, how can I dance? So how to inspire ourselves to not give up and go with that big bold step what Krishna has for us?
Thank you. That's a very nice question. I think one of the ways we have set up our society is like monks like me give a basic idea and knowledge and inspiration. Then we have a system by which those who are actually living life like you and have gone through the journey few steps ahead, they are available to guide you on the practical aspects. So we call this devotee care. And I think, you should organize a devotee care seminar. Nowadays, Jai Nitai Prabhu in North America, you can reach out. So there are 12 areas of care. So one of the areas of care is also family, children, and all of that. So there are seniors like you are connected to this satsang like since how many years?
I was with movements for last 5 years, but I'm coming to temple for 2 years.
So you have come to temple for 2 years. Our Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, he met me when he was in first year of college. And he was young and I was also young. Now I am old, he's still young. So 98? 1998. We met when he was in first year of college. So now since 98 till now is almost 28 years. So he has 28 years of experience. So you have 2 years of experience. So the difference between him and me is he has all the experience which you are looking for. Family, children, profession, this, that, everything. So he will be in a position to share that much better than me. Because my life has been pretty simple that way. So therefore, this whole system of care is where families care for other families. Women share their experience with other women. And that helps you get that strength and hope. Otherwise, for me, to give like a half an hour lecture on tolerance is very easy. I can quote like 100 shlokas on tolerance. Right? But what it means to actually go through that situation within a family setup. So therefore, it would not be fair for me to speak on that. I have my share of tolerance, but it's a different flavor, different variety, right? So it will not be relevant for you. But there are others who have gone through that. So there is nothing in your current experience which the others who are more experienced cannot share. So you will get that wisdom. So that is very, very important. Okay. Thank you.
Pass the mic to Sophia Mother. Let there be movement of the mic towards Sophia Mother.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, just following up on the same question as you mentioned right now, like Prabhuji has an experience of 28 years, and you have also started your Krishna consciousness like at very young age. But what about those who start very late? Because we don't know whether we'll be alive tomorrow. How do we know that what will happen in the next life? So, where do we go, and what? How do we? I mean, how do
You were there yesterday, no?
You asked for getting from movement.
Yesterday, I already gave the answer to that about the late thing. Who was the one who asked yesterday? There was somebody else who asked. So it was, so basically, they say, no, better late than never. So once you have come to the process, the important thing is not when you come, but how diligently you take the medicine once you have met the doctor. Right? Somebody may meet the doctor early, somebody may meet the doctor late, but important thing is how do you take the medicine. So that's,
have faith and keep doing what you're doing?
yeah, I mean, when you're following the process, focus on the process and not keep thinking about why was I delayed. So you can't be sitting looking at the medicine thinking, why did I get this late? Why did this come in my hand late? Are you open it and pop it? Take it.
Can I ask one more question?
I think there are a lot of other people. Yeah, we'll come to you also. There is somebody in the back. You can come a little ahead.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class yesterday and today. Prabhuji, you mentioned multiple times about the prayer that we should start our day with a prayer to Krishna, please engage me. And then also Hare Krishna Mahamantra is that prayer. So over a period of time, Prabhuji, how do we kind of keep refining or intensifying our prayers, and how do we kind of plan our day that we can walk the talk? What prayer do we- how do we
Yes. So again, there are two aspects to this. One is the philosophical part. The second is the practical part. So the philosophical part is the fastest way to improvement in any field or to refine your, understanding of any subject or to go deeper is to latch on to someone closely who is a subject expert or who is doing it with great impact. Satsangat mukta duhsango hatum na utsahate buddhaha kirtemano yasho yasya sakrit akarnya rochana. So when you look at an expert, the expert may look difficult, things look very easy. But when you try to do yourself, you'll realize how difficult it is. Prabhupada was on a morning walk and his servant was behind him, and some dog started chasing that servant. And the dog started chasing him, and the servant started running and shouting, Prabhupada, save me. Prabhupada turned around, he saw the dog. Prabhupada took a stick in his hand, his walking stick, raised the walking stick above his head, crouched a little, looked into the dog, and said, Hut! And the dog had never been spoken to like this before. He got bewildered. The dog sat on the ground with his tail under his body. And the devotees were impressed that Prabhupada can control dog also. 3 years later, Prabhupada was in Jaipur and this servant was making some chapati for Prabhupada in the kitchen. Window was open, monkey entered. So this servant took that rolling pin of the chapati, showed it to the monkey and said, Hut! And the monkey took a big vessel and hit it back. He came running to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I tried the same thing, but it didn't work. Prabhupada said, you saw, you did not learn. So many times you may, see someone thinks like, oh, it's so easy, but only when you do that, you'll realize. So therefore, the important thing is to apply that process. So again, in my case, I have stayed 33 years within a temple, within an ashram. It's like an army on the move. So it's set up and wired for, doing certain things because we are living in Krishna's home. So temple means it is Krishna's home. So he gets up at 4 in the morning and then he needs to be fed. Just like you have kids, mothers, you wake up the children, feed them. So like that, we wake up our child, Krishna. And the first thing we have to feed as per the full-fledged temple protocol is Krishna eats 6 types of sweets at 4 a.m. every day, 365 days for hundreds of years. No diabetes. Rasgulla, Rasmalai, Sandesh, Peda, Barfi, sweet rice for Krishna. Just to remind you. So the previous day, there is a whole separate kitchen for sweets. The sweets kitchen in our temples is separate. So this is like I'm saying when we have a full-fledged temple operating. So we have monks who have been cooking sweet rice for last 20 years. Afternoon 1 to 4 o'clock. They'll just put the milk on the fire and sandesh. We have a whole team which makes sweets. So then from 4 a.m. till night, 6 times offering arati, this, that continues. So you have to go as per the Lord's schedule. So he is waking up at 4:30 and after his morning, like early morning breakfast, he likes to see who is there to greet me for today's appointment. Right? So then we need to be there so that he can see us. So I was sharing in the other temple in Washington. One brahmachari left the ashram after 4 years. And I was taking his exit interview. Why you are leaving? Prasad was not good. He said, no, Prasad was good. Devotees did not behave with you. He says, no, everybody was very friendly. He said, facility was not proper. He says, no, everything. But if you're leaving, that means you must not be satisfied with something. Is there any feedback for improvement? He said, only one thing, can Mangal Aarti be at 10 a.m. in the morning? I said, that is not possible because this is his home. So we have been living in his home for 33 years. So that's a different kind of scheduling. Whereas now you are living in your home and you are bringing Krishna into your home. So how you will adjust your schedule is something you only have to figure out. So again, as I said, connect with other grahasthas who are experienced and spend time and accordingly mold your own schedule. Okay. Thank you. Yes, let us allow our Prabhu standing at the back. Pranam.
Bro, wait for the mic. So we can't hear.
Yes.
Guruji, my question is around the core message of Bhagavad Gita, which is Sakama Karma and Nishkama Karma, right? So, in theory, that makes sense, but while you apply in your life, it's very hard in the current day, world, because everything is driven by outcomes, right? Outcomes, KPIs, and everything, without which you cannot survive, right? So, how do you balance, your mindset, and how do you perceive this? On one end, you need to be goal oriented. You need to attach to the outcome. Otherwise, you cannot sustain.
Correct.
But on the other end, our Bhagavad Gita prescribes that don't get attachment, right? So it's an inherent conflict for me when I try to practice that. So whatever this thing, that's my question.
Thank you. So, when you look at any skill, say music, if you want to graduate from being a bathroom singer, so a concert singer, there has to be a process where you start getting trained under somebody, you practice, you learn from them. So, like that in any field. So, it's a process. Similarly, Krishna says, Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is the art of working. So, how do you take your daily work and routine and your attitude towards work to the level of art? So, that needs practice. So, therefore, Krishna says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. So, practice and detachment both are required. So, therefore, the kind of mindset which you are asking about is something which can be practiced to attain. And this is that body of people who are all aspiring to attain that state. So there are courses which happen here, both offline and online. There are weekend lectures, there are support groups, there are meditations, various things. All you need to do is show up. And once you develop that willingness, automatically all the resources are available. The only resource we cannot make available is your willingness. As soon as you say that I am desirous, then all the other resources can be made available. So therefore, discipline is the fusion of intention with action. The fusion of intention with action. And success is the ability to go from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. So all of these will no longer remain just cliches, but a lived experience only when you connect with the devotees and start practicing the process in your life. That's why we are here. That's why we run temples. That's why we run these support groups. So welcome to Iskcon of Atlanta.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we'll do some kirtan. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai प्रेमानंदे श्री प्रभुपाद की हरे नाम संकीर्तन की श्री श्री राधा प्रतिचंद्र देव की और गौर प्रेमानंदे वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
हरि बोल।
हरि
So गौरांग प्रभु की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।